Servus Männer, today I want to give you a little update on the situation in Thuringia, Thüringen. That is the federal state that is ruled at the moment by the governor Bodo Ramelow of the Linkspartei, or Die Linke, the commie party of Germany, so to speak. I reported last year about the events there, the very scandalous and very peculiar events, where a FDP, so a Liberal Party member, was elected by the Landtag, by the state parliament, to be the new governor. But then the political establishment, and especially Angela Merkel, didn't like that result. They didn't want a liberal guy, they wanted a commie, and that is why they said the election needs to be repeated. And then, as I reported about, a lot of these parliamentarians were pressured and they were intimidated, and then the result was that Bodo Ramelow, the old or previous governor, was elected again. But then, as this is a little bit fishy, the parties in the parliament of Thüringen, they agreed that the election should be repeated. So that is not the election of the governor in the parliament, but the whole election. That means the Landtag, the parliament, should be elected by the people of Thuringia one more time. And the reason is, or the basic reason I would say is that there is no stable majority. They had a lot of different, or a lot of runs, a lot of attempts to form a coalition and to elect a governor, but the parliament was split in a way that there was no stable majority, and that is why they decided to repeat the election. And it was scheduled, I believe, for April this year, but because of the current health situation, especially in Thuringia, they postponed it to September, which means that now the campaigning season begins. So now the parties are already in campaign mode there in Thüringen, and we will see how they will do. And there is another weird maneuver, let's say, of the Social Democrats and the leftist party. What they're doing right now is they raided the private or the house of Björn Höcke, the one of the prominent members or the leader of the AfD in Thüringen. AfD, of course, the right-winged opposition party in Germany. And I think I read that a judge already approved this action in February, but they didn't do it in February. They waited until now, until May. It's closer to the election. Before they actually started with the raid of his home. And there are different reports I've read. If they confiscated something, some reports say they even confiscated the property of his children, even like phones and data or hard drives, stuff like that. What you confiscate when you do that. And Mr. Ramelow already tweeted that they are looking for some accidental findings. So they raided his home, they confiscated his property, and they hope that they find anything that they can use during campaign to smear him or to use it against him somehow in a propagandistic way. So I should explain maybe why a judge or a court actually approved this raid. The reason is that he is said, or Mr. Höcke is said to have made a hateful post on his Facebook page, I believe. So you must know that there are these NGOs in the Mediterranean Ocean that are, let's say, picking up people off the coast or very close to the coast of Northern Africa, and they're bringing them by boat to Italy, for example. Yeah? And there is one of these ships, and the captain is a young lady, I believe. She is from a very influential and rich German family. Like a lot of these activists are, also these climate activists, a lot of them come from old money in Germany. They're predominantly the daughters of very well-to-do, very well-connected, rich industrialist families in Germany. And yeah, they probably have some personal reasons, maybe some guilt complex. I have no idea, but it seems that one of their hobbies or one of their pastimes or passions, what they focus on, is activism, climate activism or demographics activism, if you want to call it that way. And she's also doing that. And it turned out that 3 out of the people that she brought into Europe, into Italy, more specifically by boat, they committed very, very bad things in Northern Africa. And an Italian court sentenced them to 20 years because of very, very bad things. So we're not talking about a little fraud or something. These were very, very bad things. Okay, I cannot even say it. But and what Mr. Höcke then did is he made a post with the photograph of that NGO ship captain, this lady, and it says, I brought these and these things into Europe, and these things are the offenses that the Italian court found these 3 travelers guilty of. Okay, so, and I think the line of, or the argumentation of the prosecutor in Thüringen is now that with this post, he made a blanket statement about all these travelers and all these foreigners. And that is hateful, and that is a protected group, and you cannot say that, and that's why we're raiding your home now. And I think the Landtag there already raised his immunity, so they raided his home. And of course, it's all over the media, and you can be sure that everything that they find will be immediately forwarded to the media, to the leftist media, because they have their people in the ministry and in the police and in the prosecutor's office. So the parties, political parties like the Green Party, the leftist party, they are connected to the ministries and they are connected to the media. So they're all buddies, basically. And if the police or the prosecutor finds something, they will send that immediately to the press and to the political parties. Technically, that's not legal, I think, but they do it anyway and no one cares. Yeah. So it's always an informant told us or something. Yeah, well, okay. And once again, they're trying to find something by accident that has nothing to do with this Facebook post, okay? Because I'm not a legal expert, but I heard many voices of lawyers and people who studied law who said that, first of all, what Mr. Höcke said in this Facebook statement is true. Yeah, these people did do these things according to an Italian court. They had proof, they had witnesses, they were condemned, or they were put on trial and found guilty. So that is factually true. And also, these protected groups were not even named in that post. He just said she brought offense 1, offense 2, and offense 3 into Europe, which means that those people did these things. And he meant, of course, these 3 individuals who were put on trial there in Italy. And that is a true statement. And that is not a blanket statement. It's not a general statement. He didn't say, this group of people generally does these things. No, he didn't say that. He said, basically, that these 3 people did these things and that woman brought them into Europe without checking them, without just among other people, of course, who probably didn't do these things, but you know, these 3 people did, and they were among them on the ship. That's all he said, okay? And that is not a blanket statement. It's not a general statement. It's not even hateful. It's just a factually true statement. And I don't know what's wrong with these prosecutors, but if they were asked to write computer code, I think that code wouldn't work, because it obviously seems like that they're incapable of understanding the truth value of a statement. They don't, I mean, this is a true statement. Yeah, and it's not hateful and it's not general. But anyway, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to obsess about these things or to complain about these things, because we all know that the law and the constitution and all these things, they don't have any power and any meaning anymore in Germany. It's if the left wants to do these things, they can do these things, and the goal, as I said, is not to convict him because of a hateful Facebook post. It is to have accidental findings during the raid of his home and after the analysis and search of all his property, yeah, especially electronics. Yeah, that is what they want to find there. They want to find some dirt on him that they can use in the campaign. All right, so that was my little update on what's going on there, and I will keep you posted if something, or I will, yeah, once again make a video in the future, I guess, if something new comes out, if there is a development in this case, or if something interesting comes to light. Anyway, that's it for today. Servus, Kameraden.